Hello, Professor Wool, and welcome to my video notebook assignment. This is our table of contents on the second slide, because this is the first slide. Second slide is the lawyer, judge, witness, and contact information. The third slide will be the trial table. The fourth and fifth slide are the complaint and the summons. And slides 6 through 8 are the answer / appearance. Slide 9 is the request for production of documents. Slide 10 is my interrogatories. Slides 11 and 12 are the motion to compel and the 201K letter. Slide 13 is the evidence / exhibit table. Slide 14 is the witness list. And slide 15 will be my timesheets. This is my lawyer, judge, and witness contact information. Here I have the judge, the attorneys, all the witnesses, and their addresses. My trial table. I stated the elements of law. Negligence was the defendant had a duty to act reasonably with the hockey stick. The defendant breached his duty by striking the plaintiff with a hockey stick. Defendant's actions caused plaintiff's injuries, plaintiff's hospital bills, and plaintiff's loss of wages. And then we go into battery. The defendant intended to make contact with the plaintiff by lifting his hockey stick and striking him with it. His level of threat after receiving a punch in the face was not less severe than the level of threat that the plaintiff felt. The battery has now caused damages to the plaintiff. The damages include, but are not limited to, loss of wages, medical bills, pain, and suffering. And then I state the facts of my case, and then the witnesses and the evidence. My next slide is the complaint by the plaintiff, Pat Dunn. It just states the allegations, the parties, the jurisdiction, and then the counts negligence for the first one. Then the second count that the plaintiff is alleging in his complaint is battery. And then the next slide is Chris Davies' answer and his affirmative defenses. This is his answer right here to count 1, negligence. Then in this part, Chris Davies raises his affirmative defenses. In the first part, he states that there was an assumption of risk when you play hockey, and then the plaintiff should have been aware of that. And then his second affirmative defense is comparative negligence. He said that the plaintiff voluntarily put himself in a situation where she voluntarily encountered defendant and the risk inherited in the contact sport of hockey being played in the game. Also, as a direct and proximate consequence of plaintiff putting him / herself at risk of exposure to being hit by defendant's hockey stick, plaintiff was negligent. And then in his third affirmative defense, he raises another comparative negligence defense, knowing basically that hockey's just a risk and that you could be hit in the head, and that the plaintiff was aware of that. And then this is where in the second count of battery, Chris Davies is denying all allegations, and then he raises more affirmative defenses, stating that he was defending himself. And then his second affirmative defense is that there was consent when Pat Dunn stepped into that hockey arena. And then here's my request for production of documents, where we are demanding that they provide the diagram of the hockey arena and then provide copies of any of the hockey team rules, guidelines, or standards in which they have to follow when they are employed by the Breeside Bolts, and then a roster of the team, and then the witness testimony, and then any medical records from the altercation. And then here's some of my interrogatories that I asked. I started by giving definitions of the terms that I was going to use, And then with interrogatory number 1, with regard to the affirmative defense of self-defense, which appears in paragraph 1 of the first affirmative defense to battery, in your answer to the complaint, identify the level of threat in which a punch to the face is compared to being hit over the head with a hockey stick. There's several. Let's see. Identify all other players in the Lincoln City Chargers and Braeside Bolts who you struck with a hockey stick. Interrogatory number 4, list the witnesses who were present on February 17, 2015, when the fight took place. How many years have you played hockey? Do you wear a helmet when you play hockey? If so, is it a requirement? And then here is my motion to compel, where we're asking Chris Davies to comply with what we're asking. So here we're asking for the defendant to comply with what we're asking within 2 weeks. He has to produce the documents that we're asking for. And then in my 201K letter to the defendant's attorney, I'm stating that we've served written interrogatories and they are not answered within 28 days. So we're just asking for a response. And right here we state that's in accordance with the Supreme Court Rule 201K. Here's my evidence/exhibit table. I got all of my exhibits right here. And then what proves or disproves, and then any possible objections that can come from those, and then what witnesses can go along with those also. And then here's my witness list. This is a list of all the witnesses, any of their contact info, and then this is the summary of the nature of their testimonies. And then this is any exhibits relevant to the witnesses. And then to end with, this is my timesheets for March and April for a total of 1.85 hours. This is each assignment and how much time it took. And then this is a sum at the bottom. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.